When it comes to land, and in particular foreigners buying New Zealand farms, people get pretty nervous. When American couple Anders and Emily Crowfoot traded New York for one of the Wairarap's most iconic landmarks, they weren't exactly welcomed here with open arms. But for more than a decade, these American-born Kiwis, that's what they like to call themselves now, American-born Kiwis, have worked hard developing Castle Point Station, not just for themselves, but for their community and the wider New Zealand public. Daniel Faitawa with the investors that may just change your mind on foreign ownership.
They call it their slice of heaven, 9,000 acres stretching across 12 kilometres of coastline.
I love the fact that it's a frost-free climate. The coastline is just so dramatic and beautiful.
No 2 days are the same, just a magnificent spot. And the remoteness is, just the lack of people.
12 years ago, the American couple sold their New York farm to buy New Zealand's iconic Castle Point Station.
Manhattan is twice as wide, but about the same length as the station. So, when you think there are 8 or 9 million people there, and here there are 5 families, it's a magical place to be.
Rather than locking the public out, about a dozen times a year the family open their farm to the locals for public events, including today's book launch.
To me, a lot about today is about families.
They arrive in droves to celebrate this family's generosity.
It's about all of you as the extended Castle Point family. And I think it's a real celebration of everybody's commitment of coming together.
Locals here have huge respect for the Crowfoots. It's a stark contrast to what many of us think when it comes to foreign ownership.
And I think the fears of foreign investors, I think, are really probably blown way out of proportion. I mean, nobody's going to take the land with them. What's
interesting is that very often when an overseas investor comes in, the Kiwis actually have more say on how that property is managed in this current structure than they do when a New Zealander buys it.